I've noticed over the last week and a half, really, that there's been a lot of conversation surrounding Call of Duty. And I'm talking specifically about the developers, the team working on Black Ops 7, coming out and sharing positive news, sharing more with the community, being more open, saying, hey, we're doing this. Hey, we hear you guys. We're actually going to make some changes. Some of these changes are like the TED robot getting redesigned because the feedback was negative. They thought it looked cheap. They thought it looked bad. And so they listened. Treyarch and Activision, those developers in Black Ops 7, said, we're going to redesign this and send it out to you guys. That's what the community of Call of Duty has been asking for a really long time. Hey, listen to the things that we're saying. You've been giving us shit for a while, and we keep saying, hey, we want this, we want that, but we're not getting anything ever. We don't get listened to. And that was a problem. That was a huge thing that was going on with the Call of Duty community for a really long time. It's something that's affected us for many years. And so the developers do this, and then they also come out with this new thing called Dev Talk, where some of the developers are speaking and answering questions that the community is giving them. Hey, are we going to get more 3-lane maps? Hey, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Is the movement similar? How is the time to kill? All of these different questions that they're asking to the developers, they are answering in like a new format where they just read the questions and they answer like, well, we're doing this why we did that. Yes, we have 3-lane maps, all of these different things. The point is that they're sharing this feedback. They're wanting to talk more to the community. At least it seems that way. And so you would think that this is positive. You would think that this is positive news. And I've seen a little bit of it, and it is fun to see the people that are actually working on the game. It's fun to put faces to the development team because now you feel a little bit more connected to them, or maybe you feel like you know them more because they're not just hiding behind the name Black Ops or the name Call of Duty and you never really see them. But with Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, we have been seeing them a lot. The problem is that even with this positive news and positive feedback that they're trying to give back to the community, showing, hey, we're listening, we're making changes, we're trying to improve the things that you guys are asking for, there's still negativity coming from, quote unquote, the community of Call of Duty. People are still unhappy. I saw that they redesigned the TED robot and people were still like, well, it's not what we wanted, or now you're doing it because of this. Or they showed the dev talk and they're answering questions and saying, hey, we're listening to you guys. Well, you're only listening to us because Battlefield 6 did so well that it got you guys scared. And so now you need to listen to us to make sure that your sales continue to do well. You know now that you can't sell us bullshit and we're going to keep buying it. There's even rumors that the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 release date might be pushed up to an earlier date. Some have already gone as far to speculate that this is happening because Call of Duty is scared that Battlefield is coming out so much earlier, so they think that it might hurt some of their sales. Some people might say, well, if Battlefield 6 is already out, I might as well buy that one. Why would I buy Black Ops 7? And that's some of the thinking that some people have. Is that true? Maybe, maybe not. But it seems like no matter what the developers do, they can't catch a break. And some people would say, well, they don't deserve to catch a break because of the shit that they've given us for so long. Now they want to listen when their back seems to be against the wall. So the question really is, can they ever win? Or maybe the right question is there ever a moment where we could say, oh, okay, I understand what you guys are doing. Thank you for that. They have a really bad track record. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they don't. Of course, they have a very bad track record when it comes to certain things. Now, my personal love for Call of Duty over the past few years has been the campaign. Honestly, I would be lying to you guys if I told you that I care super much about all the multiplayer things going on or the zombies and stuff like that. I just am not as interested in those conversations. I see what goes on, but it doesn't like super duper affect me because I'm not an exclusive Call of Duty multiplayer guy. But the campaigns are different. The campaigns, I can play them throughout the whole year. I can redo missions. I can explore mission lore. I can do so much with the campaign. I love that. And so even if a Call of Duty is quote unquote bad, but the campaign is enjoyable for me, then I had a good time. To me, that was a good Call of Duty. But even the campaigns have been been disappointing since Modern Warfare 3. So Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, both of those were disappointing to me. And then we're getting Black Ops 7, and it's a toss-up. I'm not sure if it's going to be good or not. And so I do have criticisms for that. I do have certain things I don't like. I also did play a little bit more multiplayer this year, and I noticed that the maps looked really lame. The maps looked desaturated. The maps, it felt like there was never enough maps. They all just kind of sucked. But with Black Ops 7, during their dev talk, they said that you're getting 18 new maps and you're getting a shit ton of remastered maps from Black Ops 2. Now that's cool because you're getting maps, according to what they said, that have never been remastered before. And that is something that I will look forward to. That is something that can bring me back and play a little bit more. Now, if we're getting all of this information, we're getting the dev talk, we're getting the feedback, we're getting the changes, is it because Battlefield is on the market? And it doesn't have to be just Battlefield. We're not saying or turning this into a Call of Duty versus Battlefield thing, but it's the competition. I said this so much when we first heard rumors about Battlefield 6. The competition can bring out the best in somebody else in Call of Duty, because if Call of Duty doesn't have any competition and they just give you the same game over and over again, they know that they're going to sell no matter what. They know that nobody has any other real options to go and play if that's the type of games you like to play. Then they can just sit there and it can stagnate and become awful. They can do whatever they want. They know nothing is going to change. But now you have Battlefield, who, whether some people want to believe that it's a contender or not, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. But I've seen people clown on Battlefield saying, you're stupid if you think they're going to outsell Call of Duty. No matter what, Call of Duty can put out absolute shit and they're still going to outsell Battlefield. As if they win something for saying that. I am a Call of Duty player. I play Call of Duty. I play the campaign. I play Battlefield. I play any other game. But I'm not like writing Call of Duty. I'm not going to say like, no, bro, like Call of Duty's like the shit. Call of Duty's going to always outsell them no matter what. They're too big to fail. Like, no, dog. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if they're the number one seller or not. If Battlefield 6, by some miracle, outsells Black Ops 7, am I gonna cry and say that it was because of this or that, or it's never gonna happen again? No, I'm not. I don't care if they do or not. What I do want is to have another option to play another good military first-person shooter game. That's what I want. And so the thing is that I've seen people complain that Call of Duty is trying to be better. Call of Duty is trying to be more transparent. Call of Duty is trying to talk to the fan base. And some of the counter arguments to that is, well, they do this every year and they're only doing it now because it's about to be release time. And then once the game releases, they're going to go dark. Maybe, maybe not. Another counter argument that I see is, well, it's because Battlefield is pushing them. That's why they're doing it, because they're scared. Maybe, maybe not. They also say that they're only doing this to get you to buy the game, and they do it all the time and it works. And after that, they're gone. Again, maybe, maybe not, man. I don't know. But really my thing is, don't I want that feedback? Don't I want them to talk to me? Don't I want them to improve things? Does it matter why they're doing it? I even saw a conversation with somebody yesterday on Twitter where someone said, it doesn't matter what Call of Duty does, whether they listen or they don't listen, they're still going to get criticized. And then some people comment, it's because Battlefield is pushing them. And then they replied, well, sometimes competition is needed to bring the best in somebody. And then they commented saying, that's the problem. They shouldn't need the competition to be better. And like, to a certain degree, I get what you're trying to say. You should try to always be better and improve. And now, because you have competition, you shouldn't try to change. Like, don't try to listen now and really improve on things when you see that someone else might take the little money that you're making. I get that, but that's just not what it is. It's not how life works. Just because you think it'll work that way or you want it to be a certain way, it doesn't matter. If that's not how it is, it's not how it is. It sucks for the people that want to be positive, the people that want things to improve and say, hey, Call of Duty is actually trying this year. The development team for Black Ops 7 is trying, they're listening, they're adding more maps, they're fixing certain things, they're being a little bit more transparent, they're even redesigning the characters. This is good. I've complained about this. I've wanted this for a long time and I've gotten nowhere. And now that it's happening, I think it's something positive. I think it's good. But even if you try to be positive, people are going to call you out and say you're a fucking dumbass. They get you every year. They do this all the time. So there's just no winning, it seems like. It's a slippery slope. And I had just been seeing this for about a week and a half all over my timeline. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit here, get some of your guys' feedback. I know some of you are going to be like, you don't give a fuck. Their Call of Duty can never do anything right anymore. And I understand, again, that sentiment because it has been so bad. But at the same time, there's going to be some of you guys that are positive and excited for what comes next and excited that the team is maybe potentially making an effort. Now, I think you can really decide to judge them more once the game releases and you start seeing what's going on. Are they going to keep improving and listening to feedback, or are they going to go dark? That's the thing. Those are the things that you got to weigh. So yeah, I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts.